we're going to get right into it. Welcome to On the Sideline. I'm your host, Jeff Holden. I'm here with Big O, OWE's own Jay Gould, and the coach, Evan Hearn. So we're going to just jump right into this episode. I mean, we've got a couple topics we want to talk about. We've got some milestones and stuff we want to talk about. And, yeah, we'll just jump right in. First things first, milestone. Let Big O introduce this milestone. This is one of his own from the City View. Go ahead, O.
Yes, sir. We want to give a shout out to Kyra Taylor. This past week, she was able to pass 1,000 points in her career.
Good job.
Yes, sir. So as we know, man, like 1,000 points in your career for ladies basketball is tremendous achievement. So we're proud of her, and we just want to say from On the Sideline, congratulations.
Yes, congratulations. Big milestone. You know, 1,000 points is crazy, but, you know, there's kids putting up 1,500, and nothing to take away, but 2,000, then 3,000. You get, you know, Aaliyah Chavez, but
I at least should have got a 500 banner or something. I think I had about 500.
I just need a banner.
0 for me.
I also said I was born in the wrong era too, because all these kids are. Dang. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't think any of us got a banner for our 1,000 points.
I didn't get a banner for anything. I got a little picture in the wall, but they left some accolades off. And now my son is about to go wipe all that away.
Yeah, I didn't score 1,000 points either, so
No.
probably a good reason for
Probably not 500 either.
What are you trying to say?
I'm talking about me, not you.
Okay, good.
I did put up
I didn't have 500.
most points in a quarter. I'll take that.
I think I had 93. I'm just kidding. I made that up.
0.
All right. But anyways, we come up with these topics that we try to do weekly. We think about some stuff. And, I mean, again, we're on the text message all the time. And we've come up with some topics. We're just going to go straight into it. The first topic is the importance of school ball. I mean, is it good? Is it bad? I mean, where are we going with this, Jay?
Where we're headed and versus where we are is kind of two different things. I'm all for. I love it being a guy that played for Berkmanette and like found my love for basketball and school ball. I didn't even know anything about AAU or tournament ball, but I just feel like in today's climate, it's a lot about money. It's a lot about a lot of just personal gain and being recruited that I feel like school ball sports are dying in a way when it comes to the basketball, soccer, and baseball and stuff like that. Of course, there's nothing better than suiting up for your small town school and everything being closed and everybody being at the game. There's nothing better than that. I would not trade that for AAU games, paying $40 to get in for a day. I wouldn't trade that for at all. But I definitely think the climate. I think public school sports are kind of. I don't know if it'll be the same in 10 years.
Yeah, one thing I will say is that I think all those sports, but football, is not going nowhere.
Football, ain't gonna do anything.
Especially not as Texas football is.
Football is key.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you can be a legend for the rest of your life just off Texas football. I do think to piggyback off of that a little bit is with basketball, you know, you have the circuit, you have these shoe companies coming in, they're giving endorsements. Once legislative and different things get on board, there's going to be, well, mainly UIL, get on board. The NIL deals are going to start. You're going to start seeing that happen as early as grade school, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
Because you have phenoms. I mean, social media, of course, makes the avenue of being able to reach people earlier. So I think you're going to start seeing the NIL deals reach a little sooner. And then when you start seeing the NIL deals trickle down, what's going to happen is parents are going to start stepping in and it's going to become about risk.
Yeah.
Do I risk the opportunity to make this type of money of playing school ball where we all know, this is my opinion, but I think it's a reality too. Kids are not being recruited highly in basketball, baseball, soccer, and those type of sports as if they were in club sports. Yeah. Baseball and soccer has basically paved the way, and basketball is kind of modeling after that now. Because, you know, now you have kids that don't – because I don't think a lot of people realize, and I think it's certain 4As and down don't even have soccer in a part of their program. You have to be a certain classification and up to have soccer. So you still have these phenoms of kids who play club. FC is big in the Dallas Fort Worth area. They've even kind of transitioned down here a little bit. Yeah. So you have kids who make it. We had the kid that was at Ryder. I always forget his name. Light-skinned kid. He was real good at soccer. He left. He forfeited his. I want to say his senior season and went and played with FC. Played like club. Junior team Josh. His name was Josh. I forget what his last name was, but he left, played FC. But he was a really good soccer player. He's still doing it now. But it's kind of one of those things when you're that kind of kid and playing those things. And I think basketball is creating another avenue where, it's going to be.
Well, yeah, if you think of it from like a upper standpoint, like college and stuff like that, they're going to. Why would they go and make 75 trips to all these little schools and all this whenever during the summertime? I mean, you're talking about not having to recruit during your season, which is ideal. And then in the summertime, when you're in the off season, you just go to,
a couple of
events. You go see the live period, or you go see this or that. And I mean, you're getting to see people that you want to see, and they're the best. I mean, not always the best of the best, but they're the ones that are working.
You play with those odds. I'm gonna go with those odds that I'm gonna find what I need at this big
for sure. I mean, event. And I agree. I think eventually, basketball. I hate to think that way, but I think basketball is going to be out, and I mean, you're going to have some pretty mediocre, basketball events through.
I think from an
high school,
like kind of like everybody touched on about the advancements of everything. Like, I feel for school ball teachers, like and coaches. I feel for them. Honestly, it's not their fault. That's just the landscape that we're in, and they have to go teach math, history, science for 8 hours a day, and then go coach their sport, and then drive a bus. Where you have these other guys like me, I can sit in a gym all day and practice and think about basketball. Like that's just literally my life and my job. And I'm sitting up there watching YouTube videos or on sets and plays while they're having to deal with a kid that doesn't even care about the sport and figure out how to teach them and stuff like that.
We can't even touch the underappreciative of teachers.
I think everybody kind of gets us wrong and think we want school ball sports to like fail or something like that. But
we don't.
No, I mean, not at all. But it's a difference when that's your life versus this is a stipend, or like it's just a difference.
Well, I mean, Evan knows. He's a coach at Ryder, and I mean, he gets pulled every which way. I'm sure.
Yeah, and that's the challenge that, like you said, school ball that we as coaches have to deal with. At Ryder, as far as basketball, we have guys who are playing, but during season they're with us. They do work outside, but they're with us. But we're having to fight, not necessarily us, but there are teams that, you look at like South Oak Cliff. They're a charter school. And that's all those guys do are playing basketball all day long. And Jay alluded to it, and I talked about it earlier today. It happened to Hershey 2 years ago, and it happened to Canyon Randall. Those small towns, that's their enjoy. They finally made it to state, and the group of guys that they've probably been playing with since they were little, and they get that chance and that opportunity, and it's snatched away from them, whether it's right or wrong, and nothing against that Life Oak Cliff team, whether it's right or wrong, but
here comes the Monstars.
It's like we're here for this, and it makes it hard to compete against that. But I think y'all are right. As far as basketball, to me, that's the next one. Soccer is kind of taking over. Baseball is kind of hard, but it leads into the summer months, and I'm sure baseball coaches don't like it because when they're trying to prepare for their team in a playoff run or through a season, it carries over into that. But I will say on the soccer front, I personally know, like, I have a cousin. She's a freshman at West Virginia now. Shout out to her. She played her freshman and I believe her sophomore year of soccer. And she didn't play her junior or senior season because she had grew up playing soccer and seeing the stuff on the circuits. And it's like what you said, why, as a recruiter, will I go to this high school game when I can just catch them during the summer or catch them playing. I can sit in one venue and watch this
Get
many
in for
boys
free.
or this
I
many
got my
girls
own seating
to
area.
watch,
roped
and,
off.
I
all
just
that.
it's like what Jay said too. I just watch ball for about 6, 7, 8 hours, and it's easy for me to pick versus come to your school, looking at your trying to find
Yeah.
out who I just sit and watch the elite of the elite and find out who I want. And so I mean that's just like I said, soccer's kind of taken over, and basketball. Who knows? Hopefully, it's here to stay because as a teacher, that's how I make my livelihood as a coach of that. But it's a battle, and volleyball to me is right there because those girls are playing on Tuesday, Friday, and that Saturday they are gone.
I just seen a big time
Yeah.
volleyball tournament going on when I was in the Metroplex 2 weeks ago. Like I was like, dang, they're already doing that already.
Mm-hmm.
It's big. We have some great volleyball clubs out here actually. Wichita Falls Elite is one of our top programs out here. They have tryouts, a whole bunch of other things. But one thing I wanted to say I'm playing devil advocate on this part. I think with school ball, either one or two things are going to happen. It's going to fade, or you're going to start seeing programs attach themselves to schools. And that's where UIL has to be careful when it comes to that.
What do you mean? What do you mean programs?
When I say attach, mean that when the NILs and that type of stuff starts to come in, you're gonna start seeing programs attach themselves with schools from a recruiting standpoint. I think that's how the life Oak Cliff. Nothing. This is just my opinion. There's no facts or anything, but I think that's how that school was kind of their program.
You're talking about like outside sponsors and stuff like that to really put money into
put money behind making sure that
it's definitely going to happen.
But to make sure that these kids play with each other year round. And I say that lightly because ideally you want that to happen for your school district. You want somebody to take. To me, that's why the Alitos are the Alitos. That's why. Even in our backyard, that's why holiday is holiday, because those kids grow up playing with each other. But I think now that this money's gonna be out here, we have to be prepared for corruption, because everything that's good somehow
money will corrupt.
And there's actually a lot of private schools and guys making schools up basically now. Raymond Felton has one. Jermaine O'Neal has one now in the Metroplex. So that I feel like that's the way that things are going to start going. But I got a question. I want everyone to kind of put their input on it. Would you say people doing that or going that route when they're almost villainized from everywhere else? But how would do y'all feel like that's selfish in a way? Like me thinking as say my kid is good and I don't think school ball is serious enough or important enough in some manners, or like, and I just take my kid out. Everybody's around and go, oh, they're selfish. They're just thinking about them and stuff like that.
My opinion on that is about buy-in. For me personally, when it comes to your kid, your child is your investment. And some people agree with that, some people don't, but I'd rather go invest in a training session than go out and buy a $300 or $400 pair.
Well, another thing
shoes.
that parents, really look at is like you kind of said, buy-in, like from the other athletes. I mean, you got kids who are phenomenal, and then their teammates don't do anything after practice. Their team, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, at what point do we draw the line?
Yeah.
And then that comes up with another question I was thinking was, like, for example, King, like if he has these opportunities to play on this shoe circuit and stuff, they start early sometimes.
Oh yeah,
in April. Yeah. So what happens if he's got a game with his shoe team and then you got a Burke game? Yeah. I mean, that's something that you got to think of because it might happen.
And it's already kind of started happening to the point where everybody around here knows, like his team was kind of where it started for me, and they were second graders at the time. So like, of course, I'm a loyal guy. I have MPH. Anybody knows I have MPH on my leg. Like Burke basketball saved my life and showed me so many different things and helped me through a lot of different stuff. So there's nothing more not too many more things than my family, my kids, and my organization mean more to me. But it's just hard because, like you said, Jeff, like to see how much work one individual puts in, and then it's almost like shamed in a way from everybody else. It's like, it's hard as all y'all know, it's hard to keep those kids right mentally because they're around kids that almost make them feel like they're doing something wrong or like feel like they're the villain for actually putting so much time in there. It's like, dang, do I take them out of this situation? Dang, do I even is it worth having to reset him or resetting her every single time I'm with her, because the people they're around don't care. Or like so therefore it's like if you're around that enough, you're gonna eventually be like, maybe they're right. I shouldn't be training 3 times a day, or like, you know what I mean? Like it kind of poisons them.
Yeah,
in a
and
way.
I mean that kind of leads into our next topic about junior high sports and with these kids starting as early as they do sometimes. And I mean, it's just finding the love for the game. It's finding what you want to do, and you got to have supported parents, all that good stuff. But you got kids who are just dominating through junior high, and then there's situations where some kids may not get to play as much as the other kids. So like you telling me, is it fair for a kid who plays competitive basketball, comes in and plays a junior high game, but only plays half the game because the other kids have to play? I mean, is that fair?
I don't think so.
No,
We've had this topic. We've had this conversation.
I mean, because think
times.
about it. I mean, you got kids, and everybody goes to school for this reason. And junior high is a little different because that's when they start.
Yeah.
A lot of kids are just now starting. They may have played Boys and Girls Club. They may have played YMCA, but for the most part, or not most part, but a lot of times, some kids are just now being introduced to that sport and the other sports that start in junior high. But it just stinks. I mean, it's kind of a double-edged sword because you got kids like, who've been playing already, and that's all they do. That's what they want to do, and then they got to come in and sit out, and they can't,
And I think for a junior high coach, which my first job is kind of what I did at the 2A, which I did all of them, but junior high and varsity. Everybody wants to win, and so as that coach, he or she is put in a hard position, right? No coach says, well, I'm going to play Lil Susie and Lil Johnny the same amount of time just because, at the end, hey, I want to put the 5 best, if you're in basketball, or the 11 best guys in football to win, or volleyball. It's still about winning, but you do have to play them, but I don't think equal playing time. You want them to learn. And I think at the end of the day, it's about them learning and them getting bigger as far as their mind to want to play the game and learn the game. But it's just that fine line of winning means more than almost.
and
like
that's where we've got to start it. We've literally got to. I mean, somehow it's got to be known that junior high is when they need to start.
It's the foundation. I feel like that's the foundation. You're building the platform.
And I mean, because you go through and. Even YMCA is competitive. Yeah. It's got a competitive league,
Yeah.
But everybody wins a trophy. Everybody gets equal playing time. Everybody does this, does this. I mean, and I think it's junior high. We have to put our foot down and be like, hey, look, this is when winning and losing becomes extremely important, okay? If you're not getting the playing time, you got to get better.
You got to work at it.
That's it.
Got to work.
The one thing I would add to that is I feel like me and I actually joined O's football program when how old was Kingston then? I know he's 8. I think it's 3rd grade, maybe second or third grade, 8. But man, I think it's even earlier than junior high almost. If you really want if you really want great programs, I think you can go down to Metroplex. The reason why they're so good, the reason why 2 years ago, the DFW had 9 McDonald's All-American. Like, it's because their youth programs. From when they ever could play sports, it was competitive. There's multiple 5 stars. There's multiple It's multiple people that take this serious in their youth leagues. You have to be like to the point where in our youth leagues, if you got a decent team, you're probably gonna win. You're probably never gonna lose. Like freaking. O's won so many toy bowls there is. I won so many Y championships, and they wonder why those boys the boys are good. Yeah. Like as you've seen the Y. Those it starts so young and making that competitive nature and making that like winning is important. Like or not even just winning. Like developing is important.
Yeah.
Like with winning, there's a cost you got to pay. Like they're like winning's not
I mean,
loyal to
winning in
anybody.
Sports leads to
like
all life.
there's a price,
decisions,
the sacrifices you make, all that. Like you learn so much in sports. Like Kobe Bryant, one of my biggest sports idols. He said, "Sports is the best metaphor of life. Like it's the best metaphor of life because you're gonna lose, you're gonna win, you're gonna see somebody that's better than you. Hey, I gotta get more better. I'm gonna fall down. I gotta get back up. Like what's going?
I mean, it is.
But you can win and lose.
Yes, for sure.
And I think that's something that I pride myself on when coaching is you can go win a game and you lost. And they was like, Coach, how did we lose? Yeah. It's how you played the game.
Yeah.
You blew them out, but you didn't execute this, you didn't execute this. And I think for me, the wins and losses do matter, but you're teaching them how to win and how to lose. Because you can go out and lose a game and play that game, a great game, but they just had your number that day.
Yes, sir.
Because what happens, I tend to see out here is, and I'm saying this live, right here.
Here we go.
It frustrates me when I hear the words, "Oh, we're playing Alito. We're supposed to lose.
Yep.
We're playing this school. We're supposed to lose." That's a mentality.
That's a mindset.
That's like we have to get out of the culture of, these teams are from the
culture.
Dallas-Fort Worth area. These
The
teams
difference.
are from here.
What's the difference, What's the difference in a Lido kid and a Wichita Falls kid?
They're putting in the work.
Exactly. They got personal trainers.
Yeah.
They eat right.
And
They
so-
They take it serious.
They sacrifice. That's
So
the only
then,
difference.
Here's the question that a lot of people, and I'm sure all of us have heard it, but is it when we're starting kids so early, or when we think, or some people may think it's so early, is this a generation where the parents are doing this? Like, is this a competitive thing from parents that are forcing kids into doing that? Like, what would, I mean,
So
I
for
think
you've
it's a
heard
little
that
bit of both.
question.
I think there's a little bit of both.
So
for sure.
for me, with my children, I'm gonna be real. I don't want to have to pay for school.
Yeah.
So
I
so
can't say that.
Pay for school.
Say that.
so
Yeah, I
sports-
can't.
and
Not I
sports
want
is
to.
your
I can't do it.
avenue. I
So,
mean,
so we have at my house we have a twofold approach: academics and sports. Because I feel like if you attack it both head on with both, because what people don't understand, you can't get the sports
that is
without
your
the
odds.
academics.
Yeah.
So theater, there's anything. I push my kids to do something. We're not gonna just sit at home and just be lazy.
Yeah.
So with Jay, we started out with my little man. We started out with soccer. He was bigger than everybody. Coaches was arguing. I was like, I can't be out here arguing with coaches about him trying to get to the ball. I'm ready for football. We tried out basketball because he's tall, he's big. He did not have the desire. I took him to Jay. Jay was like, yeah, bro, you can tell he just don't want his work, the way he works for football, he comes in this, he trying, but it's just not, his drive ain't there. So I was like, but the thing about it is as a parent, you sit back and you watch. Once you see that niche that your kid takes up in, it's your job. Just like
never stop pushing.
That's just like as a manager. If your manager at a job see you excelling at something, or a coach see you excelling at something, they're gonna push you. They're not gonna let you just give them mediocre.
Yeah.
And what I see a lot of times, and I'm passionate about this, is parents make excuses for their kids not reaching their full potential, but be the first to blame. And I always tell them what hours, because it doesn't stop with just your coach. What countless hours are you putting in as a parent? And what I mean by that is, are you going above and trying to get them to a trainer? Are you? I mean, you might not know anything, but YouTube's a powerful thing. You might.
Let me get in real quick and say, are the parents who may not be financially sound? I mean, is that something that is a disadvantage for them?
No, because they have. I say yes and no, because they have programs.
I think you have avenues you can reach. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
yes, not everybody's born with a silver spoon in their mouth, and we all know that. And
Especially not me.
that's the beauty of life, right? And that's, to me, what the game of sport teaches. Everybody's not equal, and so I think you can reach out, and I personally don't train, but there's people around, and I'm sure here in Wichita Falls who would do it for free, or for the kid who, like O said, has a niche for it, or
What he
wants to
just said
excel.
before I interrupted him, YouTube.
Yeah,
I mean, there's a different-
everybody has.
Yeah,
everybody got
has
that
internet.
Wi-Fi
Everybody
at the
has
house.
phone.
People
or whatever.
use that
Like,
excuse, but Jeff, Evan, I know for a fact all 4 of us has paid for a kid to do something.
Yeah.
Like so.
And I hate the thought of kids not being able to do that, and so we try to make it happen.
Yeah, but most coaches
ways.
gonna make it happen.
Yeah.
Most coaches are like, so there's a difference. It's a difference in can't and won't.
Yeah.
Like there's a big difference in parents can't do it, but
And
they
another
just don't
thing,
want
man,
to do it.
a lot of people don't realize this, and I know a lot of people hate fundraising, but man, there is a lot of money out there.
Man,
I always tell people this: there's a lot of money out there. You just got to go find it.
yeah.
And
But they go back to the grind, man. You
Yeah.
got to
Yeah.
grind, like
What are
to
you
get what
doing?
you want. There's no handouts.
Teach your kids how to grind.
Mm-hmm.
What
Yeah.
adult tell a kid no?
Yeah.
If a kid came, it's hard to tell a kid no
Mm-hmm.
on his fundraiser. I'd be like, boy, I just gave you some money.
But here you go.
and I'm on like a permanent, and I'll say, well, I don't know if I want to say this on air. Like I've asked so many people that, like, you can ask my wife. If somebody asks me, it's a lot. I mean, I'm gonna do, because I have to, because I did so much for my kids for my teams growing up. That it would be wrong of me if I didn't. That doesn't mean everybody come hit me up for $10 and $20 squares, because I know those are going crazy.
I would like
About
to say,
5 of my teams are
I
doing
want
it
to
right
say
now.
one thing though, to be clear, with the junior high sports avenue. I will say across the board, and this is for parents to hear this: your junior high coach is no different than a junior high coach in the Dallas-Fort Worth area or anywhere else. Junior high coaches, as a general, it's a lot of them will tell you, "Hey, I just was put in to fill a void." It's very few junior high coaches that actually want to be doing that outside of getting a stipend.
I know one junior high coach.
Yeah, so that's why you see,
Travaz
enjoys
loves it.
Yes.
and I think that we might see this. We were talking about school ball, and I wanted to say this to segue that together. You might see more junior high programs, especially for football, because California has already done it.
Yeah. Moving that.
Yeah, move in that direction and they've talked about it before in Texas, of moving away from football. That's the one area I know, because less contact, less hits. They were
Oh
talking
yeah,
about
you're talking about not playing football
Yeah.
until you get in high school.
to high school, and then they're talking about even making it where
All sport. I heard they were getting away with all sports.
yeah,
until
but
high
even
school.
they're even talking about making it where you can't even start contact little league until the age of like 9 or 10.
That's crazy.
And the reason they're doing that is because of head trauma. It's proven that some of these athletes, and I'm not scaring anybody, I'm a still ride or die football player, but I got to give you the knowledge as it comes out.
Yeah.
They're doing this, and I told somebody, one thing I will say is that I would have loved to start my son at 6 in flag versus starting him straight in the tackle. The reason why is it's because flag football does show you some fundamentals. It shows you some things that you wouldn't learn.
Open field stuff.
Yeah, you got to learn how to move, get away.
Because I told them the hardest thing for programs that start at 6, down in the Dallas area, what they're doing is, and I love this transition, they're doing a lot of age pure. So they have 5 and 6 flag, 7 starts tackle. But the reason why is, can you imagine? That's why I said the years of coaching boys club, first grade, trying to teach fundamentals and safety.
No, I do like the flag
Toughness,
idea, and
all
they're,
that.
They've transitioned
You
to
see
that.
it. The
Top of
biggest,
Texas
strongest
has-
kids win.
Oh,
And
yeah.
at that 6th grade, go get the biggest, fastest kid.
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna want to tackle him. No 6-year-old, 5-year-old's gonna get in front of that.
Yeah,
Like,
it's true. But we got to move on here. We're gonna go. I mean, again, this group of guys. That's why I love this group so much. Is because we could just literally sit around and talk all day long, all night long. I mean, I think one of our first meetings we went for like 3 hours. It was supposed to be like 30 minutes, and we just kept going. But our next topic is we just want to go over like some of the Tuesday game results. Obviously, basketball season. So, what's a big game that really stuck out to you, Evan?
I just think, to me, and I don't want to take this from old, but just how City View dominated both games. And I'll let
Clean sweep. Yeah.
I'll let O give us more background because he was there. But
That's a
Vernon
big
to
game of the
me
week.
was both teams. They were hot. Boys and girls. They were on a
yeah.
win streak. And like I said, I ain't gonna take too much from O, and I can talk about something else. But I just thought they dominated. Especially the girls coming out. And it was, of course, the score was a little closer than
Yeah,
the
they made
game
that look good
ensued,
in
but
that last
I mean,
minute.
it was just domination from both boys and girls teams. So I'll let O finish that.
I'm gonna just say a little bit, and I'll let you guys. I talk about City View all the time, but one thing I will say that the atmosphere, and this is what I hope sports become in this area. The atmosphere was amazing from the fans. Vernon brought a great group of people there. They had a student section. I'm segueing this to Vernon ISD. Good job. I want more districts to do that, where they have fan buses where they take kids to the game, give them, this is just my opinion. Districts, this is Coach O talking, Big O. Start giving extra credit for kids coming and participating at the games. I tell everybody, Burke's student section is top notch. It's been like that for years. They're one of the last schools to have a true student section, and they're hilarious.
Yes.
Sometimes I go to the Burke games just to see what they're gonna do.
They do get their fair share of trouble.
Yeah,
but
so in the City View game, I will say I'm gonna let y'all talk about it, but for me on the girls' side, it was a committee. They all played well.
Yeah.
Kyra had a good game, forced the issue defensively. Emmy played good. She got in a little foul trouble. She got hurt.
you talking about Emory?
Yeah,
Yeah, I did non-contact too.
Yeah.
I seen it right.
Well, no,
was it contact?
kid from Vernon they both going up for a rebound, and kid from Vernon came down first, and she came down on when you step on somebody's foot. So she rolled her ankle pretty good. So hopefully she's gonna be good to go Friday. And then of course, Armani McKinney's been stepping up big the last few weeks.
Yeah, she's been getting some good numbers lately.
Doing real good. On the boys' side, it was a great chip in. Our two-headed monsters, Desmond and William Jordan. Desmond Whiteside and William Jordan played great. I'm gonna let Jay talk about this one particular kid, but segue to other kids. Our big Jaden, he played good, rebounding, putting it back. Brian knocked down some good shots. Overall, this was a good team win for both of them.
Yeah.
Before I give it to Jay, one last thing. The McBride kid from Vernon, she played.
She did. I did.
She
watch
played.
that.
She played good. She played good.
Maria.
Yeah, she played. She played real good. But I'm gonna let Jay talk a little bit about it as well.
Man, I just want to give a huge shout out to Jaleel Thomas, right? Thomas. Jaleel Thomas. You don't see kids buy in to the defensive end of the floor like that and to just completely dominate. He had the task of guarding Darius Williams, which was probably the hottest player in the area coming into the game after 26, 28, 26 games, and you can tell that kid took it personal from the opening tip. I'm talking about no catch, I don't care if I touch the ball, I don't care if I get a shot, I don't care what happens. This dude's not getting off, and he sent a message, and a lot of kids won't do that. That like, if I'm not scoring, if I'm not dunking, if I'm not hitting the threes, and which he hit his fair. He wasn't scoreless by any means, but to be that dedicated to locking somebody down and taking the challenge of, hey, that's their best player. This is where they go. This is their engine to their team. I'm taking their heart away, and to see how determined that kid was, I think that's a big, like, if we could put him on our rankings for that, I would, just because to show kids, because we're big stat guys, and that's really with basketball, with so many players being so close together. That's the only way we can divide this up. That's the only way we can put somebody ahead, because it's so close. It's so close. It's so close in talent. We have to go by the stats. Like we have no other choice. But that, like, if we could get a player of the week, or a performance of the week, like to highlight that up, that kid would, like.
And he's been doing it all season.
Yeah, that's who he is. That's who he is for sure. And I just wanted to. That's the first time he had. I feel like matched up, other than the Burt games early, matched up with another guard. Like, hey, their guard is their best player. Like, it doesn't, like, he can't do that against Holiday. Well, he kind of can, but he ain't guarding Keaton. He can't do anything. He can't do anything with a 6'10" guy. Yeah. But
he can nag him. That's what he likes to do. He's like a nag.
Yeah, but that was impressive. Like, I sat down and watched him, and like the game kind of got out of hand for a minute. But I sat there and just, is he gonna let up? Is it?
It's easy to do.
Mm-hmm,
you got a lead.
I'm gonna let him touch the ball. I'm gonna let him score a little bit. But
Hey, he took it personal. Huh? Obviously, I mean, I unfortunately didn't get to make the game, but
Yeah, it was a good game.
yeah, that was and that was huge for City View to come through with the sweep. I mean, I don't know. When
They
they
can
say
still
sweep,
won.
they won everything, right?
they won.
Yep.
Yep. I think JV,
JV,
junior
Both
high.
JV,
oh, man.
Felicia
So-
made sure she threw
So,
that in the
man,
post.
yeah, so
She
that's
said,
good for City View, and both boys and girls been playing awesome lately. I mean, they're
peaking at the right
they're
time.
exactly peaking, coming together, playing team ball. They got a lot of
One thing on the girls,
good
they look
fans,
like
too.
the City View girls look like they're getting it. Like there for a minute, they had a rust patch like Christmas time during the Burke tournament. They didn't look good. Like even
I think they had some things going on behind the scenes. but,
literally
yeah.
said like they don't look good. They look like crap.
Yeah.
He was ready. He was ready to drop them out the rankings at one point. But they're figuring it out at the right time. They look
Yeah,
good.
good for them. They're doing great. We'll move ahead to upcoming games that we may be looking forward to. I mean, I know Friday are a lot of, pretty mediocre games with, expected outcomes and stuff like that. But I think looking forward to next Tuesday,
Next
we
week
have
is
some really good matchups. And one that I'm going to point out is the Burke girls versus Sanger girls. If Burke does their thing against Old High tomorrow or Friday, depends on when this video gets out, but as long as they do take care of business there, that Sanger
It's your
Burke matchup
championship.
is for the championship. I mean, and it's a good game. I mean, it was within like 6 points the whole game last time. So I'm looking forward to that matchup. I'll be there, obviously. What's another one that we really think?
well, of course, the last Burke and Hershey game on Friday.
Well, that's 2 Fridays. We'll get one
I
more.
thought it was the 9th. It's this coming up Friday.
Not tomorrow, but the
Not
one after.
tomorrow,
Yeah,
next
we'll
week,
get
next
next
Friday.
week to talk
Oh,
about
okay.
that. We'll
All
get to
right.
prep that up.
All
But
right, my bad. My bad. A
no,
little
we'll
early.
definitely have to get that one going.
I might
but
wear a jersey for the
I
next
think
pod.
I think we got City View Holiday matching up next
City View
Tuesday.
Holiday will be a
Tuesday.
So
good one.
that's boys and girls. I mean, obviously
That's That's
I
a
think we can-
district championship too, almost. Isn't
District championship on the line. It'll be a
it?
split.
Boys could split.
for the
I mean,
girls.
not for the boys. It'll be it'll give them a chance to clinch second place.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
they
because
lost to Vernon at Vernon.
Holiday hasn't lost at all.
Yeah.
But for the girls, this would be an opportunity for them to win. I think this would be the first district championship
That they've ever.
in City View's history.
Yeah.
So,
I heard that. That's
so
awesome.
either they're
That
going to
would be
get
awesome.
a split, and then have points and all of that. If Holiday wins, and then if City View outright wins, it still has to handle business. They got to win Friday and
Yeah,
then
that girls
Tuesday.
district's nothing. to look at.
They'll be the district champs, and that'll be something
That would be
to
awesome
be proud of. To be
Especially with that crew of
the year.
girls.
And
Yeah.
even
The crew of girls been together forever.
yeah.
that would be really special for them. I mean,
Yeah.
all things considered.
Yes.
But real quick, back to the boys too. I mean, that it would be great for them to go out and, we're not. I don't know that any of us would pick City View to beat Holiday right now, but
I would.
if
I honestly,
but if
guard
they
play,
just go play a good game
Yeah.
and make it close and play good team basketball, I think that's a win. Like, you said, you can win and lose.
I think it would be a game because I went back and because the anticipation of this game. I went and looked at the stats. City View shot 2 for 27 from 3.
I'll tell you
Holiday
the difference.
has done that to. It's crazy because they sit back in a zone and everybody shoots like crap
And
against
they
them.
do-
6'8's
yeah,
at the top. 6'8 look
But
like
it's really
7'12.
lazy though. It's
Yeah.
like their zone is
1-3-1,
really patient.
yeah.
They can't.
You're
They
gonna
don't
get
let.
one shot.
him in
They
the
don't
post,
let.
Actually, he
Yeah.
ain't
Huh?
at the top. He's in the middle.
In the middle, just
Middle, that's what I mean, the middle
They
side.
You're
can't.
gonna get one shot.
Yeah,
I mean, you got to
yeah,
make
exactly.
them count
With
against
Grant
Holiday.
Cox and
Yeah,
Keith
they're
I'm about to
gonna
say,
get
you ain't
rebounds.
getting
but
no
they're just
rebounds.
long periods,
Yeah.
But here's the thing: I think the difference would be between them is William Jordan has to cover.
He has
Keaton.
to, and he has the
In
talent.
the
to.
last game, he didn't. They didn't
Coach didn't
have.
put him on there.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like
I don't
to
even
see
think
it.
he
I
has
would
to guard
challenge.
him. I don't think I
challenge
wouldn't guard him. I wouldn't
City
guard
View's
him.
coach
Just
to put
the
him on
risk, the risk of
At
risk
some
of foul
point, he
trouble.
needs to go.
Yes, sparingly.
Yes.
Sparingly, you
Yes,
have to put
of
that
course.
physical people. But I wouldn't do it. But he has to match his production.
And it's
But
got to be
that was
emotional.
what
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
what I was about to say.
Like, get out there
He
and
has
if-
to match.
I
He
remember having games versus some every time back then we had to go on message boards and go look on message boards and see who we were about to play. But anytime it was a good guard matchup, I don't like. There was times in games that I remember playoff game versus Glen Rose. They had a really good guard. End up going to UTA, but every time he shot the ball, oh, you bet I was coming back down and shooting the ball. Like I'm matching whatever he does. What? Hey, he shoots,
Yeah.
I shoot. I don't give a dang what happens.
Well, I
from that.
think so. My prediction on this, of course, I'm going to be biased on picking City View, but I think if how we said William Jordan, I think the person that has to be the go person in this game, because I think if Bubs has a good game, Keaton has a good game, what has to happen in this
Someone's
game?
got to step up.
I was just gonna say
the
that
third best
the
player
others,
is
Desmond
Desmond
Whiteside.
Whiteside, and he has to show it.
Desmond has to have a good game, and
He's got to be good offensively.
He has to show it.
And I'm gonna tell you, if Jaden Holt crashed the boards like he's been doing like the last couple weeks, because he had a lot of people don't understand that crashing the boards against Julius is a tall task.
Oh,
And
yeah,
He's
Julius
physical. He's a big
and
guy.
he gets up off the ground pretty quick. If he can crash the boards, Jaleel plays defense like he played. Sylvia has opportunities.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I think
they got to shoot it well. Like
their
Jeff said.
winning method is they've got to make some outside shots.
Yep, shooting it well.
You can't shoot 2 for 27.
If you can get them to come out the zone, you have a chance.
Jordan has to cover Keaton in crunch time or in
But I feel like it
important
all goes
possessions.
down to.
But to me,
and then
Keaton
somebody
doesn't
whoever
play
has
well.
the second person step up. is
Keaton
gonna
doesn't
be,
play well with small guards covering him. I went back and looked at the game when Childress guarded him, played him. His hardest matchup was when they had the smallest guards on him.
Yeah, somebody pestering him.
Yeah,
but
that's
Yeah.
so
I
I,
mean-
think so what Cityview figured out.
I'm excited about it.
Cityview figured out, I think, in that second half, because what Cityview won the second half of that game, because it was 34-15 at half. But Holiday just was up so much, and I think Cityview. I think if you did second half, I think it was 27-23. But I think where they switched and made the good adjustment was they put Desmond Whiteside on Keaton, and Keaton didn't like the little guy always just
The one-
slapping at the ball.
That leads me to my point. The one thing I love Keaton. He's a great kid. Love his mom. Love his upbringing. We need to talk about his sister a little bit more, but being challenged as the best player in the area. I think everybody's come into the game like, hey, he's 6'10", he's this guy. I'm not. Please don't take this wrong, Kat. I'm not saying do anything dirty. I'm not saying do anything malicious. But somebody's saying, I'm here. I'm not going to let you get 15 tip rebounds. I'm not going to I would love, I hope the All-Star game, we'll talk about that later, but I would love to see Caden Reed and Keaton match up right now. Just because I know there's one guy in the area that's be like, okay, you're not getting the easy stuff. You can go score, shoot those threes because you're 16, you're really good, but the 6-second chance shots and just tipping it to
he's
yourself.
Got 10 points.
You know what I mean?
Offensive putbacks.
Just tipping it to himself, which is, I'm not hating on him. I don't
we
want
love
anybody
Keaton.
to think that. Yeah.
So what
There's
happens?
a reason he's at the top.
So what happens if Cityview? Because if I was a coach, I would deny him. I would kind of take the approach that Cityview took with Woods, making it.
You're talking about girls' side. You flip to girls.
But you real quick. I'm saying if I was the boys' coach, you know how the
you're
second
talking
half, how they basically denied her the ball. The basic second.
Well, I
half.
mean, if I'm playing a
That's
team like
easier said
Holiday,
than done just because he can score in
And
so many
that's
I mean,
what
you're
I
not
think.
going to slow him down. Your best bet is to pin him to his 25 to 35 points, and make somebody else beat you.
Well,
That's
you
what
know,
I'm
just
getting
like like this last game with Jacksboro. I mean, Keaton was 19 and 10, but they had Gren Cox 17, Caden
you can't have
Howard
that.
16, Ashtonberry 15. Like, yes, I feel like Bubs has to match him, but
somebody else.
the others, right? Who are going to step up? Grant Cox, he's a double machine.
Yeah, he's going to get a double.
You know,
He's
so
a beast.
what are we? How Cityview going to match up, and which? And it's always, the stars always play.
Yeah.
The stars, but what guy who is going to make that step in the game? And you like,
And
oh,
I
at
think,
the
like
end
O
of the name,
said, it's
shoot.
Desmond Whiteside. I think I feel like, and I think our polls think like he's the third best player on the court, and you have to go up there and show
You
him.
have to, yeah. But William Jordan didn't have a William Jordan game against Cityview or against
He
Holiday
has
this
to play
game.
well.
He
I don't
has to
think
play
he-
well.
the
in
whole
Jordan's
team shot
style.
bad.
So if we're expecting him to be
The
himself,
second best player in the area.
then we're looking at Desmond Whiteside. But I kind of like challenging.
Yeah, I
William
don't think.
Jordan
I
and
personally
say,
don't
hey,
think he'll have
leader.
another
You gotta go,
game.
man.
the senior
This-
leader, you're looking to
and
get
he's-
scholarships.
He's
Here's your
emotional,
chance.
so his emotions have to stay positive, I think. And that's a bang. They're bang down there. They're, I mean, they're each other. Like Keaton and William will go at it. I seen it in firsthand. I mean, I got video clips that I could post of them just, going at it. But I mean, I think that's the most important thing. If we're expecting William Jordan to be William Jordan, Desmond Whiteside will be the key for City View.
And I want to say this just from a coach standpoint because this is going to be a great game between these two teams. Please, referees, don't mess this up. Don't let one of these guys go early and foul. Have
Or
to
not
sit
even
out.
that. If they get a little emotional, talk a little crap, don't get involved. It's basketball,
gonna be,
man.
Where's it at? Is this holiday?
It's
No, it's
basketball.
City View this time.
That place be
So,
rocky.
so we split last year with them, and that's what I said. Like last year, it was the opposite though. Holiday came into City View and went crazy, and then City View went at Holiday in a tough atmosphere and went crazy. So I think this year, personally, I think our girls have to be on alert for Holiday girls coming out. Because the one thing I want the girls to challenge them to. Don't let the win be because everybody's saying that you only won because it was an emotional win.
Yeah.
I've been hearing that a lot. Oh, they only beat Holiday because they were
They played out of their mind.
Yeah, they were just, but the girls.
No, they're playing really
And I
good.
think for City View girls, I think, Holiday has been so good for so long, and they've
They're
had
tired of
that
it.
target on
They're
their
sick of it.
back. And then, ththis year they've gotten tripped up. So now City View, they're no longer the hunter, they're the hunted, and so how are they going to be able to handle that pressure? Like you said, we win and we district champs. That in itself, it's going to take a lot, and so it's going to be emotional how those girls are going to handle that.
Real quick, we'll go boys and girls. City View girls.
You don't even have to
Holiday
ask him.
I'm going to City View all the way through, baby.
Okay.
Boys and girls. I'm picking City
Jay,
View.
what you got? Girls.
I got City View sweep.
City View sweep. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
What you got?
Well, in that case, I got it.
City
I'm
View
gonna
girls.
go.
Start with the girls.
I'm gonna go girls City View. I just feel like on the boys' side, and I don't know. I'm gonna just say this: they're a more complete team. Like I said, Grant Cox and the tools. And one thing about Keaton, he gets those other guys involved. Not saying William Jordan doesn't, but I just feel like more depth on the Holiday side, and so I'm gonna take Holiday. City View girls, Holiday boys.
And I think I'm exactly with you, Evan. City View girls, I think, are playing better basketball right now. And Holiday has Keaton Bristow.
Yeah.
I mean, as much as we can say you got to do this,
You got to stop
somebody's
it.
got to go do it because he's still the number one scorer in the area. He's still the number one person in the area.
Rebounder, bro.
Until we see
I'm going
it,
to make a bold statement.
until we see it,
I say Briscoe score under 20.
Ooh. And I'll say
Here's
this
the thing.
about we talked about it.
Motivation.
he's not going to go off. He doesn't come off the court. And I have not seen the kid in foul
That's why
trouble.
you have to
Stay-
make him get it. You
referee,
shoot
stay
him
out
out
the
of the
game.
zone, then he has to guard.
I
The
think
Holiday
Keaton
coach is
Bristow
really
is
smart by playing
too good.
the defense that he does.
Holiday boys by 10.
City View girls, keep riding it. I know. I feel like they're in for a great season, and all that they've dealt with, they're doing a great job. So keep riding that high.
I said under 20. I'm picking
All right, let's take a break before we get way too long in this. We're running a little long, but that's okay. We're going to take a break and we'll be back after this. A word from our sponsors. We trust is Kim Roart, given to others with love. Kim was raised in this community and has been selflessly serving for over 20 years. Kim encourages everyone to thrive in their purpose. Kim is part of the Homes for Heroes program, where she gives back a portion of her commissions from each closing to all military, firefighters, law enforcement, healthcare, and educators who use her services. Whether you're looking to buy or sell, Kim is the realtor for you. Go check out the website at homesforheroes.com. Since starting from scratch in 2020 by longtime resident of Clay County, Bob Belcher, Duck Creek Disposal has quickly become one of the most trusted waste disposal service and dumpster rental companies serving the 940 community and the surrounding areas. Local to the core, they take immense pride in being a part of the Wichita Falls community. Duck Creek Disposal's deep roots mean that every customer is treated like a neighbor. Their promise is to guarantee the best customer experience in the area, and they live by it. Whether you're a homeowner, contractor, or business, they've tailored their services to suit varied requirements. Bob's hands-on approach and belief in personal connection means that when you call Duck Creek Disposal, you're experiencing a standard of service that Bob himself envisioned. You talk to real people, not a machine. Go give Bob a call at 940-257-5660. Serving the 940 community for 12 years, Allegiance Electric and Controls is the trusted go-to for commercial and industrial electrical solutions. Contact them for reliable, tailored services to keep your operations running smoothly. Please call or visit their website at aecllc.com. For all your paving and concrete needs, we trust Freeman Paving, LLC. Located in Vernon, Texas, Freeman Paving is our recommended business for concrete, paving, and dirt work. They have over 20 years of experience working right here in our community. Next time you need any concrete work, give them a call, 940-552-9496. If you're looking to treat yourself to a delicious dessert, then Yogurt Journey is the place to be. Yogurt Journey offers 12 delicious flavors of frozen yogurt with over 60 topping options. If you want something warm instead, stop by to enjoy an amazing funnel cake, fried Oreos, fried brownies, or fried candy. Yogurt Journey also offers frozen yogurt rolls, waffle frozen yogurt rolls, and smoothies. If you need a cake for your next celebration, Yojo provides custom frozen yogurt cakes. Yogurt Journey is located on Kemp Street across from Barwise Middle School and is open daily from 12 to 9 p.m. For all your roofing-related needs, we choose Assured Roofing and Construction. At Assured Roofing and Construction, their hard work is based off honesty, loyalty, and integrity, ensuring that every customer gets what they deserve and is happy and stress-free throughout the entire process. When any storm damage occurs to your roof, gutters, fencing, or siding, Assured will have you covered and help you from the initial free inspection to filing your claim, meeting with adjusters, and getting your damaged property fixed properly. Give AJ a call at 940-782-1194. All right. Welcome back. We're on the sideline still. We have a new topic. UIL Realignment came out today at 9 a.m. And man, is it... I mean, a lot of teams, I think, expected it, and then a few teams were surprised. We got football, basketball, volleyball too, but I think the biggest thing is the new football realignment. We got almost all 3A Division II remained the same. They added up Millsap and Valley View. I think that was mostly expected.
Well, no, they added Jacksboro and Millsap.
Oh yeah. That's what it was. Jacksboro came into that district, which is
and Jacksboro's been in that
actually
district
pretty
before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they've been in that district before. That district, to me, it got more interesting for
sure.
Because you lose SNS and Valley View. So how it used to me, I just tell everybody, well, you're going to finish 1 through 4, the top teams, and because SNS and Valley View, no offense to them, but they're not that great. They're still kind of figuring it out. Mm-hmm. So you kind of had that, but now adding Millsap and Jacksboro, you have a 5 teams that can battle for 1 through 4. Really, I still think City View, Henrietta, Holiday, and Jacksboro are the favorites in that district. But I think how it can end up could be because Jacksboro beat Holiday in the playoffs.
Yeah, what is that? The regional semis, round 4.
They beat them the game. I think then Jacksboro
3
or 4 somewhere.
I was at that game, man. What a heck of a game. I mean, it was crazy game.
Overtime game.
One of the best games I think I've ever been to.
Yeah.
And then see the thing about that too is nobody talks about it. Jacksboro went down and played Gunner tough.
Yeah, they did.
they did.
Second half is when Gunner kind of poured it on, but Jacksboro played them tough.
Jacksboro was a good team.
So the question is will Jacksboro be back because they're losing a lot.
Yeah.
Landon is
big.
Belcher is going to be hard to replace.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And then of course Holiday, they're going to be Holiday, but they're still losing a stud of a quarterback in Grant
they're
Cox.
losing a lot too, aren't they?
Yeah,
I mean,
they were senior heavy.
Offensive line. Yeah, they were senior heavy.
And then
for sure.
Henrietta's losing their quarterback.
And they'll have a new head coach.
I think it's going to be. I mean, it seems like we're just bragging on City View, but they're going to have the best shot to really.
We're not
make
bragging
a
on them
surprise
because those kids.
Not bragging, but I mean, it seems like we're constantly talking about it. But I think in that district, City View's
they should be
They
should be a favorite, but me being over there, and I'm saying this on the air, these young men have to learn how to win. The coaches try to do a good job with that, but buy-in and learning how to put the work in. They have. I will say, this City View group of kids, it's been a group of kids that City View has been looking forward to getting this group. We've talked about for years our current junior class pairing with the sophomores and the freshman class. We've talked about that for a long time when those groups get together, and they're here now. So it's one of those times to see what everybody's gonna do once they put up. I call it the put up or shut up season is what I call it.
Yeah, and I think, like you said, those guys at City View have to figure out how to win, because when you bring in a team like Jacksboro, who had the season they did this past year, and then you have Holiday, who knows how to win under Coach Johnson, and then golly, I just drew a blank on the new coach name. I had it right here, but that expectation of winning, gets you over the hump. And so, like you said, it's just finding ways to win. And sometimes when you expect to win, the ball bounces your way. It's like, well, we had them right where we want them, but somehow we end up losing the game. Yeah,
too.
and so that's what, like you said, that's the next step is competing and now finding ways to win.
So we'll jump over to 5A Division II, District 2, with Legacy Memorial. I mean, they're being teamed up with the Abilene 3.
Yeah. So obviously Rider Raider, but we talked about it we've talked about it obviously in nauseum because it's realignment year, and us at Rider, we kind of talked about this district, and everybody expected maybe, or some people expected the Wichita Falls schools to go east, but after how the numbers lined up, we figured we would be in the 6th or 17th district. So we keep Abilene Wiley, Abilene Cooper, and I say we. Wichita Falls keeps, Legacy and Memorial, sorry, I keep saying keeps Cooper, Wiley, and Amarillo PD and Plainview. They're going to drop Lubbock High, and they're going to gain Lubbock Cooper. So you go from a 5-team district to now you're getting 7 with and that's Legacy as well. That's who you gain, and Memorial going from 3 to 2. So 7-team district, which Lubbock Cooper, been able to play them the last, I feel like, forever since I've been a coach at the high level. So they're coming in. They beat us last year at Rider, and we've had battles with them since I was at Rider. And Abilene Cooper, Abilene Wiley, along with Amarillo PD, and that's going to be a tough district. So
yeah,
I don't know where I am now, but hopefully I'm able to.
Yeah, I think that with along with the basketball realignment, but Wichita Falls and Abilene are going to be big time rivalry towns. I mean, it just sucks that it's 2-hour drive.
Yeah.
I mean, man, we'll touch on the distances.
It's 2 hours, but that's I would rather drive that way than.
Yeah. I mean, you're counting your blessings instead of going,
No, I think
when it comes down to it, but and obviously, like, it's made Region 1, and we can talk about this but Region 1 has now gotten a little tougher with Melissa moving in and Lovejoy moving in, and Anna now moving up from 4AD1 to 5AD2. So, and those District 3 and District 4 are 9-team districts, and like I said, we can talk about that another time, but it has made Region 1. Region 1 in the 4 years that I've been here at Rider has gotten tough.
It's the toughest I've seen it.
It went from, you going out west, my first year playing 2 El Pasos in the first round or second round, to now you'll play a Metroplex school in the second, as early as the second round. And so when you used to didn't see those teams to the regional semis or the regional finals, like Region 1 is now a lot tougher.
And we'll touch on 4A Division II, District 3, Burke. Burke Burnett gets Bridgeport, Brock, Eagle Mountain, Graham, and Mineral Wells. I mean, they go from playing absolutely nobody that they played last year to playing all new teams.
And not only that, to me is
actually, I take that back. Football, I think they had Mineral Wells.
They had Mineral Wells. Yeah,
and Graham.
I think Mineral Wells. I think for Burke, and we can talk about this on the basketball spectrum too, is how will they handle traveling? I think that's a key thing. Yeah, as Coach O said, with the Wichita Falls schools or Wichita ISD schools, Legacy and Memorial traveling 2 and 3 hours. Now Burke is going to have to travel, and so
we're already hearing about it. On the posts
and I'm sure fans are going.
The travel for Burke is
no longer in the hour radius.
And let's talk about Brock moving up to 4A. I mean, they're actually a perennial powerhouse.
I personally think Brock will come up into the 4A Division 2 and be the same Brock.
So you think they end at the top of this district?
I think Brock wins district.
Okay. I mean, I could see that.
The reason I say that is because let's piggyback. A couple years ago when Brock came in and played Hershey at Memorial the first year, they beat Hershey, and that's when Hershey made that deep run. Then last year, which was a down year, considered a down year for Brock, they were real young, and they still took. I think they took Hershey to the brinks, or they might have beat Hershey.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
But the thing about it is Brock, their program is solid. They have great.
That's a culture.
Yeah.
They got great coaches. Their kids buy in. Let's just say this: when you see Brock, that's why so many people complained about them in 3A. When you seen Brock, you would consider them a 4A or 5A school because of how their athletes look.
And I think that a big portion of that is I don't want to say like a farm system over there, but they're breeding these kids. I mean, they're bringing them up through the systems.
Well, they're right there. A lot of people
all
understand.
locked in.
Like Gunner, the Brocks, they benefit from being so close to the metro that you get. Oh, my kid ain't good enough to be. He good. He might not be good to be at a Plano, but I'll go over here to Gunner or go to a Brock. You know, so they benefit from being in the. That's kind of how Argyle is too. They
And I think like Brock is going to use this as a, you know, if I'm Brock's head coach, I use this as a challenge. Like, you know, we dominated 3A for however many years. So now we're bumping up into 4A Division 2. And so teams or maybe the outside world maybe don't think, how good are you really? You know, and so you can take that as your mantra for the year of, hey, we're here and let's show how good we really are.
Follow the footsteps of what's that? Allen?
Allen
that did it in
you know,
almost every district.
Moving on up, you know, Alito have done it.
Every
moving up
division.
to 5A Division 1, and it's just
Alito
you know
needs to go to 6.
it gives these kids, you know, especially their senior class, hey, well, we done it in 3A, let's do it in 4A, and let's show them what we're really about. So
My prediction for that district, I could see Brock or Graham winning it, but I got Brock, Graham, and honestly, even though Mineral Wells beat Burke last year, I got Burke finishing 3rd and Mineral Wells finishing 4th.
I think a key would be Eagle Mountain.
Yeah, Eagle
it's
Mountain's-
a new school in
nobody knows
Saginaw.
anything
Nobody
about it,
knows.
yeah.
So
They could be
not
getting
that
all
we're
kinds
counting
of-
them out. We just nobody knows about them, so we'll figure that out on the way.
I'm just assuming that they're gonna be. It's gonna take Eagle Mountain
Based off,
some years to get.
Only
it going.
assumption I have is Brock being number 1.
Yeah. So 3A Division 1, District 4, Bowie, Owl Park, and Vernon looks like they moved.
That's a tough
East.
district too.
They got it in that eastern side there. I don't know that many expected that. I think they were wanting to go west or stay pretty much the same. But I mean, it is what it is. Bowie and Owl Park, Vernon. That's our coverage area. But
They got some powerhouse in there.
that's gonna be a big. Yeah, I mean that's who they're
Peachtree
matching up
Ponder
with.
and Paradise.
Yeah,
are-
Paradise had a great. What were they like? 12-1, 2. They had a great year this past year. Ponder's on the come up. You know,
Ponder's
I know
been
they
solid.
I know they had a
won.
coaching change last season.
The key to that district to me, I think also too, is what happens in Boyd. They have a freshman that's a quarterback that's really, really good, but he's a sensational baseball player. So, you know, there was rumors that he might be done with football after this year. So I don't know if he's gonna, you know, continue to play baseball and focus on baseball only. But, you know, some of our Vernon fans, I've seen people saying already that, you know, Paradise and Peachtree are the favorites, leaving Vernon out of it. I think Vernon can come in and Owl Park can too and shake some things up in the district.
Yeah.
Let's just touch on some of these other districts real quick. We won't go too much into detail, but we're running over time. We want to get through a few things. 2A Division 2, District 6. It's got a lot of our coverage teams in it. Archer City, Electra, Haskell, Petrolia, Seymour, Windthorst, and Monday. I think Monday is the newcomer to that division.
Yes, sir. And I think
Good for them
Haskell
wanting
too.
to play up.
I think Haskell is new to that district as well.
Okay.
Oh, and Electra's new.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Electra's moving up from – I didn't realize they were doing that in football too. I thought that – well, I guess it's the same. So, yeah, that'll be an interesting division having, I mean, all those teams right here in our coverage area. So that'll be good. Also, another one with a few teams in our coverage area, 1A Division 2, District 7, Benjamin, Chillicothe, Crow, Guthrie, Herald.
Benjamin's gonna run away with that district again.
Yeah. Is that kid a junior or a senior?
He's a junior.
He's a junior.
I'll be trying to get.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay. And then 1A Division 1 District 6 before we go to basketball. Bryson, Knox City, Newcastle, Parentwood, Northside. Yeah, so all these alignments will be posted on the 940 Game Day page, also shared by our page. If you guys want to check those out. Let's go to basketball real quick.
Yes.
Again, one of the biggest moves is from Burke Burnett. I mean, I don't know if it was a surprise move or not, but they're moving for 4A District 7, Bridgeport, Decatur, Eagle Mountain, Crum, Lake Worth, River Oak, Castleberry, and Springtown.
And here's where, once again, I talk about it in football, but here's how are you going to handle the travel? You know, and these are long ways away. You're the furthest west or south, I think. You know,
yeah, I mean the travel is crazy. Like, and not just for Burke Burnett, but a lot of these realignments. I think somebody said it best. They don't care about the travel.
I think what hurt Burke was when Hershey left and Ojai, and so you lose. And then also too, I think what they were banking on, and it didn't happen. They were hoping that Vernon's numbers were going to go back up, and our Park's numbers were going to go back up.
Stay down,
because that's what that district was, and with their numbers, it kind of there's nobody else around here really.
Yeah,
so it kind of hurt Burke.
And then in basketball, you know, Legacy and Memorial, they just stay with the three.
Yeah, and I think they benefit. Legacy and Memorial does. Being a coach here at Ryder, you know, we've had to go east, and it really hurt us when Old High dropped down 2 years ago. You know, we were the only Wichita school, and so we're having to travel, you know, playing the likes of the Alitos, the Brewers, the Saginals, you know, all those guys. Now we're going to Abilene playing, or I say the Legacy and Memorial now going to Abilene High, Abilene Cooper, and Abilene Wally. I'm not trying to say anything bad about those teams, but may make the road a little easier. And you know, you get to stay out west for round 1 and round 2, possibly with how you match up with the Lubbock Amarillo district and then the El Paso district.
I could see Wichita Falls, Legacy and Memorial in that district in basketball going 1-2.
Yeah.
I would like to see that, you know, see them.
I don't know how strong those guys are as far as the Abilene schools in basketball. You know, obviously there's talent, but once again, it's split up. But I think you're right. I think, you know, those Memorial and Legacy have a good chance for a district title, probably something that hadn't been done in a little while.
Yeah, that moves on to 3A District 7.
Well, yeah, nothing changed in that.
Yeah, nothing changed. So that remains a really good district for us covering basketball. You know, it's always best. It makes it easier for us to do rankings whenever you have more head-to-heads, you know, like especially in the district time of the year. And then 2A District 9, also all teams that we cover, Archer City, Electra, Nocona, Albany, Petrolia, Seymour, Windthorst.
That
again,
changed.
Electra moved up
that changed
from 1A. So that'll be interesting for them to see. And then the 3A, 3A District 7 was the same. Jacksboro is in that district. They've been there, okay.
Yeah.
All right. And then the smaller schools for basketball, 1A District 16, Benjamin, Chillicothe, Crowell, Harold, Knox City, Monday, Northside. Again, no, Monday did not move up.
Yeah, Monday and Knox
Monday
City
did move up.
Monday and Knox City moved to that district. They didn't move up. They just moved to that district.
Okay, so that was
for those sports, which that's gonna make that district interesting. It's gonna shape up some things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
for sure.
And all, you know, in the 940 game day coverage area, so that's pretty good too. So yeah, a lot of realignment. We won't touch on volleyball because that's pretty far away. But yeah, realignment was huge. I mean, we all expected it. Like you said, a lot of people may not have expected some moves, but a lot of people did predict their moves and what it would be doing. So
yeah, like I said, I know for just us at Ryder, you know, and we thought it would be a 17 district. That's what it was for us. I know, like you said, teams like Burke, they may not have had an idea, and especially with Hershey closing, like you said, and Old High closing, it changed a lot from their football and basketball district. You know, I like to think that sometimes UIL doesn't care about care
No.
about us all out here versus the metropolitan area. But you know, these are the areas that you like to watch and see because you never know where you're going to end up. So, I mean,
Yeah, I'm excited. I mean, being put in that district
and
and
new
football
blood and new
and
rivalries
basketball. Yeah,
for sure.
exactly. I think, again, I keep telling you guys about Abilene and Wichita Falls. I just think it's going to be my ideal situation would be a doubleheader. You know, taking Wichita Falls Legacy and Memorial, and one weekend driving down there on a Friday and having a doubleheader somewhere in Abilene against two Abilene teams, and then next weekend having two Abilene team come here and play. I think that'd be pretty awesome. It'd be good for the community to really, grow and support and be there for those games. Of course, I don't make the schedule, but that would be cool. I think that'd be cool. See two games for the price of one. But yeah, other than that, alignment is happens every 2 years, right?
Yeah. Wow.
And so, yeah, a lot of new stuff coming, a lot of new teams be around that, we might get to see some different players.
Who knows how many
and
times,
everything else.
how many schools Frisco open and from now until 2 years. Because that's what's really Region 2. Region 2 now is all the schools in Frisco. So.
That's what I was about to say. That's what changes so much with this is because in the big cities, every year is 3 or 4 new schools. Like Frisco, man, I think they got 4 schools in Region 2 now.
Shoot, I mean, they are now Frisco ISD is now I think about 11 schools. So I mean, that's why we joke as staff for it's like Region 2 is now Frisco ISD, and that's why it moves teams. But like you said, the Metroplex and now Saginaw Open, Eagle Mountain. How long are they going to remain 4A? They're at 4A Division 2 right now. In 2 years will they be 4A D1? And how long before everything goes up? So
Who knows?
yeah.
2 years will tell. A lot of things can happen in 2 years.
I do want to say, I commend the programs like DeSoto who had the opportunity to drop down, but they realized dropping down wouldn't serve. It was no good for their programs. You have some schools that should be going up, but they're not going up. But like DeSoto, they took the high road. We just won state. Why would we want to drop down to 5A Division 1?
Yeah.
They stayed up. And I didn't realize that was you got that option to opt in or opt out.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
So that's
Of course,
new information.
I'm really learning about all this realignment stuff here.
I know.
Because I don't really.
I want to be
I
one.
didn't really keep up with them.
Be at the headquarters one time when that maybe as an assistant I'll get that in 2 years or maybe hopefully as a head coach I get that buzz.
Yeah, I saw the videos on that.
I was tuned
that'd be
in.
pretty
I was
cool.
tuned in. Had my computer watching my class.
So now I guess they make their schedule, their pre-district
Yeah.
schedules,
Yeah.
and get those out.
And it like for instance, the Legacy and Memorial. I know Coach Bendo and Coach Johnson. Maybe it was handled before they did it, but now being in the 17th district, whereas I'll speak on Ryder, we've been in a 5-team district, so you usually have your 5 non-district games, your bye week, and then your 5 or your district opponents. Now with the 17th district is you get your 4, and now is where does my bye week stand? Because usually in 5-team district you get that bye week is in the middle, but in 6, 7, 18, 19 district you're worried about where that bye week falls.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So that's another thing is that's going to be interesting because you have to be strategic.
Yes.
Especially because I was looking at Legacy, what they put as their non-district.
Yeah.
You talking about traveling all year? Because they have on there, they have Lubbock, Coronado, Amarillo, Tascosa.
Yeah, they're tough.
Canyon Randall.
Yeah.
It's another good school.
Yeah.
Those are all travel. That's a lot
That's
of
3
travel.
hours.
Yeah.
So
3.5 hours.
you gotta, and it already said it's gonna
They
be,
go wear that road out, man.
and they already got that they're at Lubbock. They're gonna be home for Amarillo.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna they're going to Canyon Randall. But those are, and then you don't know what your district, because of course it fobs, and then they have to. Good thing they only have to schedule with 2 schools now versus 3 schools.
Yeah.
For the field, but that's a lot of traveling.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Parents,
Double headers.
the coaches didn't have nothing to do with their
School
parents.
budget.
School
You know?
budget.
I need charter buses. That's what I'm thinking for those.
Yeah.
'Cause Amarillo's pretty far.
And that, I mean, and Burke is going to get a wake up call because we've had the furthest we've traveled in recent years is like Sanger. It's like an hour and a half.
Shoot, that's an easy drive.
Yeah, now we're going to, oh gosh.
Being that Rider 2 was the 2.5. Us here to Abilene was the shortest, you know. I've been out, I think, 4 years ago. Shoot, man, my freshman team or the freshman team we coach, we traveled the equivalent to driving to New York and back. That was just our freshman. We were on the road.
That's crazy.
9 games, 7, 8, 9 games. You know, it was the COVID year, and it was just, it was a wild. We traveled to Midland for a freshman game. That's 4.5 hours away. But
Ugh.
so get used to it. You Burke Burnett Bulldogs
Burke
and
Burneticans.
Lady Bulldogs.
Yeah, so I mean the biggest craziest things that we bring up is whose district is getting easier and whose is getting harder. We talked about that and then the travel. A lot of teams are having to travel that may not be used to it. But I think that is more widespread. I think with the numbers that certain schools are putting up and all that, I mean I think it's only going to get crazier.
Yeah.
You know, and the idea of having a charter bus for like fans and stuff, or like, you know, get another school bus. I swear, if you have like 15 parents pay for school bus gas, I mean, I'd do it. I'd ride a school bus.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I jump on that bad boy quick.
And be sleep.
Cause,
Yeah, I
'cause
would too.
I think the reason I say this and this is why, you know, I always tell people I'm hard on coaches. You know, everybody are critical of coaches, but the one thing I do say that's very appreciative is the coaches of you have to take into consideration, and I think you have to drive the bus. That bus ride after coaching a game, because look, I'm a parent in the stands and I be wore out.
I'll be tired.
After the games, so I can only imagine having to get on the bus.
Yeah, we need bus drivers.
Because that's what I was just about to say. I think that the people that are employed with the district, we should find a way to give them an incentive to be the drivers. And the reason I say that is because, yes, our coaches get paid, they do this, but imagine coaching a game, giving your all, you're 2.5 hours away, 3 hours away, and you're putting a livelihood of 50 kids. Sure. The stress of that,
yes,
it beats the stress of the job in itself.
No, I agree. I mean, that's, you know, kid safety, you know.
I remember, what was that one night we were talking that we were texting about the pole, Evan. It was like 12 something night. He said, "My bad, man. I just pulled into Wichita." And when I got up the next morning and looked at it, I'm like, what?
Yeah.
And then you're required. I heard it's a requirement after a game. I think Wichita Falls ISD has a policy that you have to be at school the next day. You don't get to miss.
Yeah. You know, I don't specifically drive the bus. My rider coaches know why. But the coaches who drive the bus, they get the day off. Like they get that day off. But so if, for instance, for a Friday, you know, you get that Friday off, and then obviously there's no Saturday during football season. But for a Thursday game, they got to turn around and come to school that Friday, or basketball. You know, basketball, volleyball,
Tuesdays, yeah.
and those others, baseball that play, softball that play on Tuesdays and Fridays. Like you get that day off, but you got to go to school that next day. And I'm with you, and I've said it before when I found this out at the 2A school I worked at. How it started is, wait, the coaches drive this bus? Because me being from Plainview, we had charters, and so it was all
on the school district.
And I think it's the smaller schools that have hard time, and you know, obviously, it's tough to get drivers too. But
I mean, we at Everman, our coaches drove, but I will say, the further we got along, big playoff games, we had charters and things like that, bigger school. But our coaches drove. I mean, our coaches drove us all the way from Everman to Wichita Falls for a scrimmage.
Yeah, I mean, Ryder, if it's our charter trips are Lubbock, Amarillo, Plainview, you know, and I'm talking from a football standpoint. And this is teams in our district, Abilene Cooper, Abilene Wiley, we take our coaches drives us. So like you said, I mean, you getting done with a football game and it's 9, 10 o'clock, and you done put all your all of your whatever you have left into the game. You got to turn around, win or lose. Maybe a win helps, but you're still fatigued. And, from a basketball standpoint, we don't charter anywhere. And we go to, Brewer, that's 2 hours away, or Alito, or Grant. Oh, I'm so glad we don't play Granbury. That road going back that way and that's about 2.5. And it's just like, oh my goodness, we're whatever. But so.
Yeah. The travel is going to be crazy. I think a lot of people are going to, a lot of fans are already unhappy about it. I'm unhappy. It just means more driving for me.
Yeah.
We all know my wife drives, but just sitting in a car, I don't know. It is what it is.
Yeah.
But we got to end this thing. We appreciate you guys coming out tuning in. Sorry, I'm tired. It's like I've been driving.
You've been driving the bus.
Appreciate you guys tuning in on the sideline. We will be back with another episode next week. Hopefully we have a special guest. I don't know if we will or not, but hopefully we will. Thank you guys for being here. I think we had a pretty good little chat.
Yeah, there.
And we'll see you next time. Be good.
Yeah.